Bold prediction time. Bold predictions mean essentially that. What do you believe is going to happen this year? We got 4 tonight. They are all an 8 or higher on the boldness scale. First up is, it's a very specific prediction from Northville, Michigan. Drake said the, the newfound rivalry between Oklahoma and USC will come to a head when they play one another in the Rose Bowl. The Rose Bowl is a semifinal game this year. Hope I can be there. Drake says I'm going to see USC versus Oklahoma. Now, look, for those of you not keeping track at home, yes, this is Lincoln Riley versus his old team. Everyone wants this to happen. It is very bold of Drake to not only predict that it's going to happen, but he's predicting both of them make the playoffs. So Drake is predicting half of the playoff, and he's predicting a first-round matchup. That's a 9.5 on the boldness scale, Drake, but I'm with you. I hope you're right. USC's got the harder schedule here. They've both got win totals of 9.5. OU's probably got more to prove. Both of them would have taken care of all that if they make this. I did not know this, but producer Jesse tells me we've never had a college football playoff with the Big 12 and Pac-12 in it. But it makes sense when you think about it. So I'm going to put a 9.5 on the old boldness scale there. Backloaded schedule for USC. Hey, they'll be battle tested, if nothing else. And I do want you to keep in mind, if you're looking on YouTube, check out USC's schedule there. There is a mechanism built into it that you don't see. See, they've got a week 0 game against San Jose State. So you see their first bye in week 4. And you may think, okay, well, then I see the rest of their season, right? Yeah, you do. What you don't realize is they're done. November 18th, they're done. You know what that means? If they make the Pac-12 title game, they have a bye before the conference title game. Lincoln Riley, I see you. Next up, this thing has happened. This next prediction has happened recently. Cal from Kennesaw, Georgia said 3 or more teams will go undefeated in the regular season. He's talking about Power 5. Or notice he said regular season. I'm going to put an 8.5 on the boldness scale here. But having 3 undefeateds is not that uncommon. It's happened in 4 of the past 5 seasons. If you count 2020, which we do, it's happened 4 out of the past 5 years. Just regular season, having 3 undefeateds is not that rare. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama all have win totals of 10.5 or higher this year. Clemson, USC, LSU, Oregon, Washington, Penn State, there's a bunch of them with 9.5. The more challenging thing would be to guess which 3 teams are going to be undefeated. But I don't feel this year. Even though it's happened 4 of the past 5 years, I'm not feeling this year. And there are many reasons I will detail later in August, but I don't feel this year. Like, I think we're going to have a bunch of blemishes on a bunch of records, and that's a beautiful thing if you're just agnostic and you're watching the whole sport and you're not pulling for a specific team. So I'm going to put an 8.5. 8.5 on the boldness scale on that one. Next up, this one is very bold. Producer Jesse wanted me to put a 10 on this one, but I am a believer. And so I'm only going to put a 9.75 on it. Logan from Aiken, South Carolina predicts South Carolina wins the East after upsetting Georgia in week 3. Georgia is a 24.5-point favorite against South Carolina at home in week 3. If this happens, you would not be able to get within 50 yards of Shane Beamer without burning yourself. That's how hot that guy's stock would be. If he beats Georgia in Athens in week 3 and they go on to win the East, that's not guaranteed just because they beat Georgia. And they still got a load of really difficult games. They would still have to go to Tennessee. They got Florida at home. They got back-to-back roadies against Missouri and A&M. Whew. South Carolina winning the East. Have you prepared your kids for a world where South Carolina is playing in the SEC championship game? I don't even have kids, and I haven't prepared mine for it. But if it happened, whew, what a story it would be. Now, I got to put a 9.5 on this on the boldness scale because it's really, really bold. The last 3 matchups between South Carolina and Georgia, the final score has been a combined 133-36. South Carolina has plus 3,400 odds to win the SEC East. But, they told me once upon a time ghosts couldn't play baseball. Then they showed me Field of Dreams, So anything could happen, I guess. So it's only a 9.75. Producer Jesse, noted Gamecock hater, does not believe in Cocktober. I do. I know some of these games happen in Cocktober. Never write off the Gamecocks, especially in Cocktober. Still a 9.75, though. Lastly, let's go up to the Big Ten. Let's see. Will from Fairhope, Alabama said the Big Ten West delivers 2 or more wins versus the Big Three. So that's Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State in the regular season. This is 9 games in total. There are 9 total matchups featuring the Big Three in the East versus Western Division teams. Enjoy it, because this is the last year we got divisions up there. Ohio State plays at Purdue, at Wisconsin, and Minnesota. Michigan plays at Nebraska, at Minnesota, and Purdue. Penn State plays Iowa, at Illinois, Northwestern. All right, now I circled what I think is the toughest of each of those. Like Penn State goes to Illinois. That's Drew Aller's first road game. Michigan goes to Minnesota. That's the second leg of a back-to-back road stretch. Not easy. And Ohio State goes to Wisconsin, which is a tough game in its own right, and it's also the week after they played Penn State. But I still think this is a 9 on the boldness scale. That the division is just not close. The quality of team over there is just not close enough. And so you think to yourself, well, it's only 2. Yeah, it's only 2. Go find them. It's only 2. Like if you're 5'3", and they tell you got to dunk 1 basketball in this gym today, you can try all afternoon. You're not dunking. I do not think we're going to see 2 combined upsets featuring Big Ten West versus Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. I've been wrong before. I'll probably statistically be wrong again at some point, but I don't think I am there.